Dear viewers, thank you everybody. Now I am going to discuss about the past indefinite tense. Dear viewers, I think you know about the past indefinite tense. Though I want to make the clear conception about this term, so I like to first of all define the past indefinite tense. What is past indefinite tense? The past indefinite tense is the tense when the action will be completed. The action uh, was completed, the action was completed at any indefinite time in the past. So the main focus or main point of this tense is that the action was completed in the past, but the time we don't know. The time of completing the action in the past we don't know, so the time was really indefinite, and in that case we name the tense past indefinite tense because the action was completed in an indefinite time. So please take a look at the whiteboard. Salma went home. Salma went home. Salma went home. Dear viewers, you see this is past indefinite tense, past indefinite tense, past indefinite tense, dear viewers. So how can we make it? First of all, we will take subject. We can take a subject and then we can use the past form and uh, other words or phrases to make the sense complete. So this is called the past indefinite tense because here the past form went or V2 we can say. So this is past indefinite. First of all, we have taken a subject and then we have taken the second form of the verb of the first form of the verb, and third of all I have used the word home to make the sense complete. So dear viewers, this is an example of past indefinite tense. Salma went home, and I like to discuss it broadly, and through my discussion you will have a clear conception about this tense. Now I like to show you how we can make the sentences of past indefinite tense using the verb to be. So this is the group A, and we are using verb to be in our past indefinite tenses. So suppose the subject is she, so we will take the verb to be here according to the number and person also. Number and person, there are two things. If we use verb to be, then we have to have two uh, points here. First of all, we will remember how we can use the number and person. So this is the third person, and this is also the third person singular number. This is the third person, she is called the third person, and it is the singular number. So the verb to be is really was here. She was a student. She was a student. Here viewers, you see. So after all third person singular number, you can use was after all third person singular number. So I have described in my lectures what are third person singular numbers. He, she, it, this, that, who, third person singular number, what or who is third person singular number, any verbal noun or gerund or infinitive third person singular number. Specifically, proper noun, singular common noun, singular noun, and uncountable noun, that means abstract noun or mass noun or material noun. All these are third person singular number. So after any one of these third person singular number, you can use was. I think you have a good idea about this. So Rohim, dear viewers, you see Rohim. What subject is it? This is third person singular number. So it will also take was with it. Was. Rohim was a student. Rohim was a student. But dear viewers, there is also a similarity with it, that the first person singular number I also take was to make this sentence. Suppose I was a student. I was a student. I was a student. So there is no same thing. You just take a look at the whiteboard. You see, first person singular number also uses was with it to make the past indefinite, and third person singular number also uses was to make the past indefinite tenses. And now all other subjects will use were to make the past indefinite tense of be verb. So this is also group A. That means the subject may be they, the subject may be we, the subject may be you, the subject may be plural noun or plural subject. Suppose Salma and Korim, Salma and Korim, Salma and Korim. So they, we, you, Salma and Korim, Salma and Korim. Or we can use or here. Or students, or students, dear viewers. So you can understand that any one of these subject can take where to make the past indefinite tense. So they were students, or Salman, Karim were students, or you were students, or we are students. This is the accurate use of the past indefinite tense using the verb to be in our sentences. So now you can take a look at the whiteboard. You will see another group, that is group B. Group B. Group B. I am going to discuss about this. In these sections, dear viewers, we can use the verb to have. We can use the verb to have, and there is an added advantage here of using verb to have in the past indefinite tense. There is no tension here to make past indefinite tense using the verb to have, because after all subjects we can use the general form of verb to have, that is had, to make the past indefinite tense. So you can use this verb to have, that means the past form had, after any one subject. So Salma had Salma had a book. Salma had a book. So this is the past indefinite tense. You can use I had a book. I had a book. I had a book. So you also use any subject in place of I. Suppose you can write we had a book, or they had a book, etc. So dear viewers, we can use had, that is the past form of verb to have, after any subject. After any subject. So there is no tension here. But I like to tell you in this case, we can also use uh, verb to have in another sense in the past indefinite. And this is somewhat a special use of group B. So you see please, Salma did Salma did have a book. Salma did have a book. So dear viewers, you see Salma did have a book. Salma did have a book. So what is the difference between Salma had a book and Salma? The previous one was Salma had a book. Salma had a book. Salma had a book. You see, Salma had a book. So Salma did have a book. What is the difference between from this one? What are the differences between this? So you see, Salma did have a book. Here, uh, it has been given emphasis of over have to have. That means Salma did have a book means Salma had a book, had a book really. Salma really had a book. No other thing Salma did have except a book. That means Salma did have a book means Salma did have a book means really Salma had a book. So there is an emphasis over this word. But Salma had a book means the general sense Salma had a book. Salma may have any other thing. This may call, this may be expressed like this way: Salma had a book, Salma had a pen, Salma had anything else. So, but in this case, it is really that Salma had a book in the past, no other thing. I think you can understand. And uh, dear viewers, now I am going to tell you about the C group of this tense, C group, and in this sections we can use the uh, action verb. So what are the action verb? The verb is gives the sense of doing any action. So please take a look at suppose Mr. Peter Mr. Peter uh, went home. Went home. Dear viewers, do you think how is it possible went the past form of go? Because you may know that the previous form of the went, the previous present form of the word went was went. So from this term, from this word went, we have next taken go. So from went, we have made the past form went. So go and went means go and went, go or went means the same verb, and from went we have changes the form into past, that is went. So Mr. Peter went home. This is the dynamic verb or the action verb, and we can make sentences like this way. After the subject we can use any past form of the dynamic verb or action verb. So this use is like that of using the verb to have. That means we can use any subject with the verb to have in the past form, and we can use any subject with the past form of action verb. There is no problem. So Mr. Peter went home. You see, and if I use I I went I went home. I went home. So will it be correct? Will it be correct? Yes, this is correct. We can use any subject with the first form of the action verb. We can use any subject of the any subject with the first form of the action verb. So this use is like that of using the verb to have in the past with any subject. So dear viewers, this is really very uh, important. Now, dear viewers, I like to give you some other notions about this tense. So, first of all, I want to tell you the affirmative. So, affirmative. Suppose I like to give you the example of verb to be in our sentences. This is called the interchange of sentence. First of all, affirmative sentence. Suppose I was at home. I was at home. Dear viewers, I was at home. I was at home. This is the affirmative sentence, and in the negative sentence is that I wasn't. I wasn't. I wasn't at home. I wasn't at home. Dear viewers, I wasn't at home. So this is the contracted form of was plus not. Was not there means separately, but wasn't is meant to be a single word. I wasn't at home. So this is the negative, and after negative we can use interrogative sentence. Interrogative. So what will be the interrogative? In this case, you have to place the verb to be before the subject. So was I at home? Was I at home? This is the conversion. This is the conversion, and if I want to make this transformation, then I will have to write wasn't I at home? Wasn't 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 I at home? Wasn't I at home? So dear viewers, you see, when I'm making the conversion, then when I'm making the conversion, I can tell was I at home? Was I at home? But when I am giving the sense of transformations, or I am making the transformation of this sentence, then of this sentence, I have to tell wasn't I at home? Wasn't I at home? So, and now last of all, the interrogative negative sentence. Interrogative negative. Interrogative negative. And in this case, you have to really use the verb to be or and not. We making the contracted form. The contracted form of verb to be and not. So wasn't I at home? So this is the interrogative negative sentence. Really, while we are making verb to be in the interrogative negative sentence, this becomes really the transformation. Wasn't I at home? This means that I was at home. And also we can use in terms of interrogative sentence. If I write was I at home, that will be a was I at home, that will be a conversion, and wasn't I at home, that will be a transformation. So dear viewers, thank you. Today I am going to uh, end this lectures, and then wish you best of luck, and if there is any fault, please let me know, and I will be able to offer good videos next time, and within that time wish you best of luck and wish you good health. So please help me uh, by giving me like, comments and share. Till then, you will be fine. Thank you.